This is M.
And this is Ken.
And this is just your typical
Boy meets girl.
boy and girl become BFFs.
Straight up BFFs. For life.
Girl asks boy to make some top 5 lists.
Boy decides to film it.
And an internet sensation was born.
Dozens will be entertained.
This is our podcast.
Top 5 Battle Royale.
With cheese. Welcome to episode number 4. Are we at 4 episodes already? It seems like we just started doing number 1 like
An hour ago.
We might have. Not gonna lie.
Nice shirt, by the way.
Thank you. It's my favorite. As you can tell, I actually have a cartoon character wardrobe. If you open my closet, it's all purple polos and khakis.
When I find a shirt, fits nicely, I just...
Right. I mean, if you like it and it looks good on you,
buying multiple of copies of the same shirt.
So today, a little background on the show. Em and I have been friends forever. We have decided to pick a topic each week, and we're going to debate our top 5 lists. If you've seen the episodes before, we've talked about books, we've talked about celebrity crushes. Today, we're talking about cartoon characters.
Top 5 cartoon characters.
Top 5 cartoon characters. The greatest, something that we were fans of since we were kids. Now we're still fans of today. Mm-hmm. Wreck-It Ralph was amazing. I didn't actually see it, but hopefully by the time
I'm
this
still
airs,
blown
I'll
away
have seen it.
how they got all of the rights to all those cartoon characters. Well, I guess Disney can
Disney
really
owns
do whatever they
Disney
want,
owns
right?
the
Yeah.
world. Come on now.
I was pretty pumped when I saw Cubert in there, though.
That was pretty cool. All right, so
Sweet.
since I got to pick M,
I flip.
you get the flip. We have our fancy Harvey Dent Two-Face coin, and I'm gonna throw this in the air.
All right, I'm ready.
And you're gonna pick.
I'm calling Two-Face.
Harvey Dent is
Two-Face!
4 and 0! Harvey Dent.
Harvey Dent, 4 for
Bring
4.
the pain. 4-0 Harvey Dent. That means,
I get to go
my
first.
friend, you get to go first.
We didn't welcome them and say I'm in Ken's. And
Oh, I'm Ken.
I'm on top 5 Battle
Top 5
Royale with cheese.
With
All right,
cheese.
I'm first. First cartoon character. My first cartoon character. He's a WB character.
Okay.
I remember him from a specific episode, in a science lab. I want to say it isn't Porky Pig. It was the other one, the pig from not Animaniacs. The Buster
Hamilton?
one. Yeah, maybe it was Hamilton.
Hamilton was from Animaniacs.
Okay, right. So he opens the box, right? He peeks in, and who pops out? Seriously, you don't remember this episode? Oh my god!
I've seen 1.5 billion cartoons.
Well, so have I. Michigan J. Frog.
Michigan J. Frog.
Michigan J. Frog
Michigan J. Frog
pops out and he's all dancing with the top hat and everything. He's
Hello,
like,
my baby. Hello, my darling. Hello, my darling girl.
Yeah, right. So he, Michigan J. Frog pops out and Hamilton. I think it was Hamilton.
I think wasn't that Sylvester? Wasn't it a Sylvester cartoon?
I don't know. Anyway, whoever the heck it was supposed to be dissecting Michigan J. Frog, who was dead in the box when the teacher walked by, but out hopping
He was always
around
right.
with his hat.
The crazy person always saw him
alive.
Yeah.
Yes, and so I just love Michigan J. Frog.
That is a classic pick. That is a classic pick.
I thought you'd appreciate that.
I do. I love that one. Mine is from a movie.
Okay.
One of the greatest cartoon movies of all time, I think. He's just great. Voiced by one of my favorite actors of all time. When you think of the movie, you think of this character. The genie from Aladdin.
Oh, Robin Williams.
Come on, Mr. Aladdin.
That's absolutely. That's a good pick.
I'm in the mood to help you, dude. Infinite cosmic power.
Here's the live in space.
So, Robin Williams nailed it as the genie.
Mm-hmm.
Was awesome. And even in the cartoons, afterwards, they made, the cartoon, the show.
Was that his voice, too?
No, it was Dan Castellaneta who does Homer Simpson.
Oh, Homer. Right, yeah.
Even he was really good at it. He really... Great. I mean, nobody was as great as Robin Williams.
Character.
But they were able to really make that character still awesome. Genie, Aladdin, number 5.
I like it. Okay, my number 4. My number 4 is classic. He is not only a comic strip character, but also a cartoon show character. He one of my favorite animals too. Garfield.
Garfield. Garfield. Classic.
I think so too. He hates Mondays, right? Likes to sleep in.
Everybody loves to sleep in. Mm-hmm. Everybody loves lasagna, I guess. I think I'm not a big fan of lasagna.
Okay, but food in general, right?
Yeah.
I really like food.
I love Garfield.
I love Garfield.
Garfield's pretty awesome. Got an attitude. Mm-hmm. Odie. I had an Odie. I had a stuffed Odie that I loved. It was like one of my favorites.
You didn't have like the suction cup Garfield?
No, we never had the suction cup Garfield.
You didn't like that?
No, I probably did. All right. My number 4 was from a TV show when we were kids. It was a little bit when we were older. And this TV show has actually made a comeback.
Okay.
In recent years. If you haven't seen this updated version, it's really awesome. They've made movies. They've done some really horrible TV shows. And this is, it's from the Turtles.
Oh!
I'll just throw this out there.
We were talking about
Turtles. We were just talking about Ninja Turtles. My favorite Ninja Turtle. So I wanted to put one on there, and I could not just leave out my favorite Ninja Turtle. He gets a bad rap sometimes. People don't necessarily think of him as being the most awesome turtle, which he totally is. Donatello.
Oh, yeah.
Donatello's great.
Everyone liked Michelangelo.
Everyone liked Michelangelo, or Raphael was, kind of, because he was kind of the rough and gruff. And seriously, the new cartoon is amazing. Jason Biggs from American Pie is Leonardo's voice.
Okay.
And the guy from the Lord of the Rings, the friend from the best friend from Lord of the Rings, Rudy.
Okay, right.
He is Raphael. Mm-hmm. And then they got the original Raphael. He does Donatello's voice.
Okay.
And then it's great. Like it's a little bit of a different twist. Things are a little bit different, obviously, but they've stayed pretty true to the characters and Hamato Yoshi and all of that kind of stuff. And Shredder's just totally BA in this. Splinter's really cool. He's really awesome. The show is amazing. It's on Nickelodeon at like 11 a.m. on Saturdays. You have to watch it. You have boys. You have to be watching this.
Yeah.
It is awesome. We DVR it at my house.
Okay.
Because it's that awesome. Like, it's just been a great... It's funny. It's sweet. They don't say cowabunga anymore.
Okay.
They say booyashaka or something like that.
Sounds fun.
And they eat pizza still, and they're awesome.
Good. I'm glad a turtle made it.
Ninja Turtles.
I didn't put a turtle on my list.
Couldn't in good conscience leave a turtle off of the list.
I think that's good.
Yeah.
I like it.
All right, number 3.
All right, my number 3. My number 3 is Disney character.
I feel like Disney's going to dominate some of these lists.
I think this is my only Disney.
Between Disney and WB, like, I think that's great. But they're the main...
Right. He's my Disney character, my favorite Disney character when I was growing up. I guess I could give a shot at it.
Your favorite Disney character?
Hooey.
Wow, 3.
The Goofmeister.
3.
Here's why. Okay, love Goofy, love classic Goofy, liked Goof Troop, hated the Goofy movie. And you know what? I don't know if he didn't translate. It's not even that he didn't translate well. I just don't like what Disney did to Goofy in a Goofy movie. I loved Goof Troop, but now I can't remember which came first, Goofy movie or Goof Troop.
Goof Troop came first.
Okay, loved Goof Troop, hated a Goofy movie. Just because Max was so incredibly, terribly, awfully, horribly mean to his dad. Like, what an awful message.
This is a bombshell. This is a bombshell. I, honest to God, figured I had you pegged for... I have one of your senior pictures still somewhere. Mm-hmm. I know I still have it. And you have like 1,000 Goofy things. You're wearing Goofy gloves.
Yeah.
You're
I have my Goofy.
Covered head to toe in Goofy stuff. And Goofy all over the place. Wow.
I know. I
such a tumble from grace.
I know. Well, and you've done the same thing in your last list. I was like, what? Right?
Although I will say this, my favorite cartoon character has been my favorite since I was pretty much a kid.
Then I know who number 1 is for you, but that's okay. Yeah, I was kind of shocked too that he was up. And then he was down, and then he was up, and then he sort of got...
That's kind of the one thing I've noticed with making these lists is, like, you're like, well, maybe, no. Mm-hmm. Like, there's
They really do. There's things that you think were your favorite kind of get flopped around for something different, so...
That is...
Just my thought.
Pure insanity. Chaos, mass hysteria, dogs and cats living together. It's crazy, people. All right. My number 3 is... came again, kind of like the Turtles, came to us a little bit later in our childhood, in our lives. There was a show, and it was just awesome. it was awesome. And this is one of the main characters from that show. The Animaniacs.
Absolutely love that show.
Wacko from the Animaniacs. One of my favorites of all time. I used to have a keychain that a friend of mine gave me in high school, and I kept it like forever until it like completely fell apart. Like, I love Wacko. He's just awesome. Hard to put him at 3, actually.
Yeah.
Really hard to put him at 3.
Yeah.
But yeah, he. When you see my number 1 and 2, you'll understand that he really. But yeah, just one of my favorites, and I loved Animaniacs. I still love watching Animaniacs. That show was twisted.
Was
and
awesome.
I cannot believe our parents let us watch stuff like that.
I don't think they knew we were watching. Oh, it's a cartoon. Go ahead.
So, Animaniacs, number 3, Wacko.
Very good. Wacko taught me all of the capitals of the United States.
And another thing, he and I both had a huge affinity for sandwiches. I think that's what might have.
That might have started your love right there.
Well, I mean, I'd always loved sandwiches, but like when I realized what he was doing, where he would just put meat on meat on meat on meat on meat on meat, I was like, you can do
Great
that?
idea.
Because I was like, oh, you put like 2 pieces of meat, put a piece of cheese, bam,
Call
some
it
mustard,
good.
call it a day. But he was like just stacking it. I'm like, oh my god, they do that. Every time I get to like a deli sandwich, I just think of those huge stacked sandwiches they used to make.
Oh yeah.
So,
Good.
Brothers Warner, Wacko, awesome.
Good. I like him. Good pick.
All right.
My number 2. My number 2 goes back to Disney character. From our childhood, again, but same thing. A little later. It was a Disney cartoon, daily, or weekly. It was
a series? Okay.
Yeah, series.
All right.
So, my number 2, loved him. Darkwing Duck.
Darkwing Duck!
I love Darkwing Duck.
One of the best theme songs.
Yeah, absolutely.
Really, when you drop just cut DW. Darkwing Duck!
Yep.
Let's get dangerous.
Yeah, I mean, what a catchphrase. Let's get dangerous. Awesome. Just a total blundering goofball as his
alter
Mallard,
ego.
Drake
Yeah,
Mallard.
Yeah.
As Drake Mallard, total bumbling idiot, turns into Darkwing Duck and solves the crime with his awesome pop gun there.
That was like
Great cartoon.
that
Great
was a little
cartoon.
bit later. Like that came after I think where Animaniacs was like came after Tiny Toons.
Right.
That kind of came off of
Not Tailspin, the other one.
Not Tailspin.
Scrooge
DuckTales.
McDuck. Yes, DuckTales.
DuckTales, which was a great cartoon. Like,
That was you know what that was my other. I had a fight between Scrooge McDuck.
you can't. I don't think you can put them both on the list.
No, I don't think so either.
Yeah.
And so I mean, really, my heart sort of settled upon Darkwing Duck.
Interesting. This is very interesting. I mean, awesome. Like, I'm really mad that I didn't put that on my list.
Seriously?
I will say that. Like, Darkwing Duck, awesome. And now I'm thinking Scrooge McDuck should have been on my list too.
Yeah, I'm sad he's not on your list.
Yeah. So my number 2, I went modern a little bit-ish. Like, all of these have been from our childhood. This is not from my childhood.
Okay.
But this is from one of my favorite movies, like, of the past, 10, 15 years. I did not see it in the theaters.
Okay.
I have a reason. I don't go to see kids' movies in the theaters, because a single man in a movie theater for a kids' movie screams creeper alert, and I just don't do that. And most of my friends' kids are not of the age where I can rent them to take them to kids' movies. So I usually don't go see kids' movies in the theater. But this one, I wish I had. And I've seen subsequent, because they made some sequels. And I'm pretty sure you might have a guess of what the movie is. Donkey from Shrek.
Oh, love Donkey.
Great character.
Yes.
Eddie Murphy, just classic. Everything about that movie is just awesome. He's amazing. Make
some waffles.
In fact, the picture that I have, it's like
him with the waffles.
Never waffles in the face of terror or something like that.
That's awesome.
Like he's just so awesome. The whole thing with the dragon, girl dragon. What are you doing with that? Wait. It's Eddie Murphy.
Yeah,
he's awesome. In a donkey costume type thing.
Right. Well, and it's the same thing with Genie, so I can see why you have those two on there.
I mean, just he's been a huge influence, comedy wise, and so. But Donkey's just great, and he's done other characters, but Donkey is just. Donkey's and I love awesome. Shrek. I love all of the Shrek movies. Shrek is amazing, and so I had to represent and when I thought about it. I could have just done the top 5 with just Shrek characters.
Oh,
but
yeah.
Had to put Donkey on the list as far as, my representative from the Shrek world.
Good. I like it.
All right.
All right, my number one?
Your number one.
My number one.
Number one.
I sort of kind of cheated with my number one.
Okay.
My number one's actually like 2 characters together.
Okay.
So, if you don't like it, we'll rip it in half.
No,
I'll pick if you need me to.
Wait, so it's, I guess we'll have to get this, okay.
We can fight about it in a minute. All right.
We might have to. You can get my dukes up.
Not its own cartoon, but a short in a larger cartoon. Love the concept. Love the story arc of the 10-minute little segment. Just phenomenal concept for a cartoon and just awesome. I mean, well played is all I gotta say. Pinky and the Brain.
Okay, I'm gonna give you that one.
Okay, because if not, I can we can just go with the Brain. But what is the Brain without Pinky?
Right. Yeah. That's not a. But I mean, really, and then if you think about it, like Pinky was, not really all that intelligent.
Correct. If I had to pick one, it would be the Brain. Okay, be the Brain. Yeah. I love him. But I went Pinky and the Brain. I thought maybe you'd let me slide by.
I'm gonna let that one slide because it's awesome. And notice.
I know, right? Mm-hmm.
Begat.
Mm-hmm.
A little cross contamination, as we like to call it here.
You got it.
That's awesome. I love Pinky and the Brain. I actually really did want to put Pinky on my list.
Did you?
I had a battle royale here with Genie and a few other characters. And Pinky was actually one of those characters that I just kind of, I just really wasn't sure if I could live without him. So
yeah, I just love Pinky and the Brain. It was what an amazing concept, right? I mean, who doesn't think of world domination? I mean, come on, right?
I plan it literally every time I wake up in the morning.
You know what? He's right there every time, and you know the scenario every time. He's gonna be right on the brink and. Pinky's gonna screw it up.
Well, you know what I like? I like the fact that it's not always Pinky that screws it up.
Well, true. A lot of the time it was Pink.
Sometimes Brain screws it up for himself.
Yeah.
So they didn't rely on that formula of Pinky being the one who always kind of messes up and ruins everything.
Right.
That's.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I remember it the other way, but I think you're right. It's just a great formula and versatile and never boring, and It's
they
awesome.
hold true today, too.
Yeah,
and,
absolutely.
I mean, honestly, how many times do you say, what are we doing tonight? And you're like, same way that you do every night.
Take over the world.
Right? I mean, how many times do we say that to each other in high school and, over the years, just to each other, let alone other people. And, so, yeah, that's classic. I'm going to allow that. That could be a foul, that could be a violation, but I'm actually going to allow that one because I think that's a great, if you disagree, let us know, but I think we can allow that one.
All right, fair enough.
Number one.
I'm ready.
You know who it is.
I do.
One of the greatest movies of all time. One of the greatest cartoon movies of all time. One of the classic characters, and if I don't say so myself, in 9th grade, the East Detroit High School did a production of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. I was cast as Dopey. I'm going to tell you a little story here because I feel like we can bond it. I was really terrified to audition for this. It was my first high school production. I was super terrified. Went to the library to get a monologue because we had to have a monologue for auditioning. I picked a monologue, and it was a Southern thing, so I practiced and I had it ready. At the audition, I didn't really know anybody. These girls sat down next to me. They were a little bit older than me, and they were talking to me, and they said, "What are you doing for your monologue?" I said, "I'm doing this speech from the book Ethan Frome." And the girl looked at me and goes, "That's a girl part." And I'm like, "Oh, yeah, I know, yeah." I got up there and just had to improvise, and I did this Southern Belle.
And you sold it.
I sold it as a Southern Belle. And I still thought I wasn't going to get the part. I actually thought that this guy named Dave, who was like 17 feet tall, I thought that he was going to get cast as Dopey. And it broke my heart. I figured I'd get cast as Dork because I'm short. But I really wanted to be Dopey.
No, but you had loved Dopey before this,
I had loved Dopey before that.
Okay. So this didn't start your love affair with
This did
Dopey.
not start my love affair with Dopey. Okay. It just, it made it stronger, and actually kind of gave me an out for loving Dopey, because, like, from that I got action figures.
Sure.
People were giving me, like, figurines and hats and things like that, and I still have some of that today.
You still have your hat, please, right?
I have one of the hats.
Okay, the white one.
The white one I lost.
No!
I lost the one, and I don't know where it went, and I miss it every day.
That's like my iconic picture of you.
It was a white hat. It had a purple brim and had Dopey's face on it, and I wore it all the time, and I loved it.
All the time.
It was an amazing hat, and I miss that hat. And now you just made me cry a little bit by bringing that up. So,
all right, we'll find you another one.
So that's our top 5. Top 5 lists. Classics.
Mm-hmm.
Not a lot of modern. I think.
You know what I think my thinking was I didn't even go to CG.
You know, and, like, I wasn't thinking that at first, but then I'm like, you know what? Like, there's some great cartoon movies, which we'll get to down the road.
Right. Yeah.
And, like, and then I'm thinking about it, and, like, I love Shrek. I watch Shrek all the time.
Yeah.
Like, Shrek is one of those movies that if it's on TV, I will watch it.
Yeah.
So, like, I couldn't leave out a character from
No,
Shrek.
I think
I just couldn't.
I think that's a...
Like, there were a lot of CG characters that I wanted to include, you know, like Dory from Finding Nemo and things like that, but...
Sure.
I think Shrek. I think Donkey from Shrek is a really good.
Good solid pick.
Yeah, good solid
agree.
picks. And Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the new one.
Watch it.
11 a.m. Nickelodeon Saturday morning.
We're gonna get Nickelodeon to sponsor.
Straight up watch it. I don't care if they sponsor us. I just want people to watch that show because it's awesome. And I just kind of want pizza now. So, our top 5 lists. What do you think? Leave your own lists underneath. If you have any questions.
And wins.
Yeah, debate who wins. I think this one's a push. I really think this one's actually a push.
I do.
I really like... I mean, I'm not a huge Goofy fan, but I think your list is solid. And I like that, really, Goofy's the only... Like, when you think of, like, cartoons, you think Mickey Mouse and, like, Bugs Bunny. And really, Goofy's the only one that made the list from, like, the hardcore, like...
Classics.
Those classics.
Yeah,
so,
I agree.
So, yeah. So, what are your top 5s? You can leave them below on our Facebook page. We'll have all that information right here, digitally enhanced, right here. And the worst part is I'm doing this, and
you got your hands right over top.
The person who is editing this is totally not going to put it here. They're going to put it somewhere else. So next week, what are we going to talk about next week? It's Emily's turn to pick.
My turn to pick. We are doing. I don't know. What should we do?
We talked about this.
We did like 5 minutes ago.
Hold on 1 second.
Oh, right.
I'm gonna pretend not to know.
Let's just start with that as number 1, by the way.
I'm gonna pretend like I don't know. Okay, so let's
rewind.
So next week, what are we gonna talk about next week?
I think next week we should talk about things you should never say to a woman.
Oh.
It's kind of an adult topic for us, right?
It is a very we've been very I don't want to say immature. I mean, we talked about crushes last time around. I pretty much propositioned half of the female NBC sitcom stars. Yeah, that's going to be an interesting one. Things you just never. I have a lot of them, and so thank you for pretty much solidifying me never getting a date by having put this list online. So
it's all good.
So yeah, next week we'll talk about things you should never say to a woman.
All right.
That's going to be easy for me.
You do pretty well.
All right. Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you later.
Bye.
Ridiculousness.